What if we fully and completely accepted our desires and dreams as divine? What if these desires and dreams are really spirit seeking to belong and contribute through us? How would that change how we look at what we want, what we dream to have or do? Would our desires change? I'm not sure they would change, but I think I might have more confidence in the dreams and desires that do arise, because I would understand that this is spirit giving me the opportunity to have a greater expression in my life. I like to think of myself as unique with my own desires and dreams, but when I read stories or talk with others, I find I have many, I have many of the same basic desires that they do. So we all want to be seen and be valued and be free to express who we are without fear or judgment or any of those other human responses that make us feel less or unsafe. I think most of us want to make a difference or be a positive force in the world, whether it's with our own immediate family or the global community. We want to belong, and we all want to express who we are as individuals. And this is how we work together. If we didn't have many of the same desires, we wouldn't understand each other or be able to relate to each other or possibly even support each other in our desires. And if we weren't unique with our own ways of doing and being, life, I think, would be quite boring and change wouldn't happen because we're all just following the same path, which on one level, because I have a problem with change, that doesn't sound bad, but life is meant to change. God has created this amazing space where we want many of the same things and where we can experience it all in our own unique way. It allows spirit to express in a deeper way. In this thing called You, Ernest Holmes writes, your mind is an outlet through which the creative intelligence of the universe seeks fulfillment. Creative intelligence, God, spirit, it's seeking fulfillment through our thoughts, through our desires and dreams. We are all part of this process. We are all important and necessary for this fulfillment. And spirit doesn't care who receives an idea. Spirit puts the idea out there, and whoever catches it can run with it. And I say puts the idea out there, but in that greatness that is spirit, all these ideas are already there. And we just get to bring into form those that resonate with us. I remember years ago, I needed to aerate my yard. It's Florida, it's very sandy, very clayey in some places, and I needed to aerate it. So I had this great idea to make a shoe with nails so I could just walk around the yard and aerate it. So I pounded the nails into a piece of wood and I attached it to my shoe, and I have no recollection of how I did that, but I got these things created and I walked all over the yard. And I honestly looked very silly in my makeshift shoes, but it got the work done. We had a lot of laughter that day. But I remember at the time I was thinking this would be a cool thing to design and produce and market, make some money. But that's as far as it went. It was just a thought. And then a few months later, I saw exactly what I had envisioned in one of those gadget catalogs that were everywhere back then. Yes, dating myself. But someone took the idea to the next level. They created a marketable project that did exactly what my nails and wood and old shoes did. I think that was the first time I consciously realized that God doesn't give an idea to one person. God puts the ideas out there. They're out there, and whoever is receptive gets the idea. We get to choose if we want to make the idea reality. I took this idea from Spirit and created my own little shoes for my yard, and another person took that same idea and built a product for others to use. I think it's wonderful that it's out there for everybody. And I think that's how we move forward. And also, when I think about this and what I did at the time, I started wondering what was my consciousness that held me back from creating and marketing the aerator? Why didn't I think I could do it? So what narratives and limiting ideas did I have then? And then how many of them are still active now? Or was it just not mine to do? A fun idea, but not where I wanted to put my energy. So we each have our part to play, and that part's defined by what we desire, what we want, and who we are. Spirit uses all of us to fully experience all there is to experience. Just be thankful who you are, that your uniqueness allows this to happen. When I think about this possibility of consciously supporting Spirit in its fulfillment, I see two challenges or opportunities here that can help us be that outlet for creative intelligence. The one is to notice and clear out the limiting narratives, beliefs, ideas, and expectations, our own and society's, these things that keep us small and keep our desires and dreams small. Maybe not even getting the ideas at all. Some of this chatter, this limitation we have cultivated is probably keeping those ideas from reaching our consciousness. So to open ourselves to be a greater expression of Spirit, to receive the ideas always available from Spirit, we have to let go of all the stuff we created, whether it was to keep us safe or to explain why life is the way it is or why we are the way we are. We have to let go of whatever doesn't serve us and whatever isn't true. Spoiler alert, it's a process. I wish I could think of something that I didn't want and it would poof go away, but we know we have to go through the process and fully release it. But the more we engage in that process, however we do it, if it's sitting with Spirit and thinking it through, or just being in prayer, or just constantly replacing the old thoughts with new thoughts, the more we let go, the more we will be able to get these great ideas. We'll be able to see these ideas that are out there waiting for us, and the ones that are bubbling up inside us. God is this big expanse beyond us, but that God within us that knows us so deeply, that's where those desires, those ideas start that really resonate with us. So as we let go of what isn't us, we get to see what our heart really desires. We become a greater partner in the creative process. We fulfill our purpose with Spirit. Another opportunity is it's to shift how we perceive ideas. We really get that the ideas we have are from Spirit, and consciously invite them in. Allow times to just be creative, just think creatively. Let ideas come without judgment. It doesn't matter what they are, just let them come without judgment. It's really about allowing yourself to dream, to let your imagination go in any direction that comes up. We have to be willing to get out of our own little box and way of being and imagine what is possible. Open up and let Spirit show us what is possible. When we are being creative, it feeds itself, and we'll get more of those wonderful ideas that help us expand life and be who we want to be. In the Science of Mind text, Ernest Holmes writes, anything you can dream of is not too great for you to undertake if it hurts no one and brings happiness and good into your life. Spirit wants us to dream, and it wants us to dream big. This is how Spirit fulfills itself. This is how we continue in our life. So Spirit wants us to have these dreams and desires. And it's up to me to open that door. Years ago, I decided I would not want anything. I would not dream. At that time in my life, I had experienced a lot of disappointments, didn't want to be disappointed anymore. And so to avoid being disappointed again, I decided to stop dreaming, to stop wanting anything special in my life. We did it. I didn't get it disappointed, but after several years, I realized there was little joy in my life. I wasn't fully engaged. I did what was required, and I had some fun, but I wasn't growing or really, it just didn't feel like I was living. When I look back, I realized that during that period, what I was doing is I was following other people's dreams. I would see something that made someone else happy, that gave meaning to their life, and I would think, maybe that will work for me, and I would try that. There was still this need to express, expand, and grow. And Spirit's need to express through me didn't stop just because I didn't dream. It was just fulfilled through me in a way that didn't express me and ultimately didn't fulfill me. So I decided I needed to dream again, explore what I wanted and really want it. And I found it wasn't that easy. You would think, I wouldn't forget how to dream, but I did. I got so comfortable with good enough that it took a lot of effort on my part to be okay with wanting more. I couldn't think of anything I wanted because I had spent so much time not wanting anything. The cool part was that with my new awareness and shift in attitude and the desire to dream, Spirit was able to work through me again. I was able to start dreaming. It started getting easier. There's going to be times when things in life are going to cause us to put our dreams on hold. So, I've got dreams and I'm opening up, but right now I'm taking care of my mom, which means that some of my dreams can't manifest right now. But I'm still dreaming. I have the desires, doing the research, keeping the ideas alive in my consciousness. Because I know even if it isn't feasible in the present moment, it will be when circumstances change. And I want to be open and receptive to the doors that Spirit will open when the circumstances change. When we know what we want, we are providing the creative idea. And Spirit, as the law, puts everything in motion to manifest what we desire. And that's how the creative process works. And I get excited because what I'm noticing right now is information is coming to me that is shifting my understanding of the current circumstances with my mom. I want to travel more, and I have put that on hold to support my mom. Because I've had this idea that I have to be here all the time, that my mom needs me. But what is awakening in my consciousness is that this is not true. I am getting information from people and things I'm seeing that, yes, my mom still needs me, but not at the level she did over the past 2 years. I know that opening to what will be a greater expression of me, deciding what I want, put things in motion so that I could see things differently. It's like Spirit's opening a way for my dreams to happen sooner, because we all know it's on Spirit's time, not our time. Now, I'm not going to go off on a world tour and be gone for months, but I can see that my mom is well cared for. She is safe, and I can go away for a couple weeks. And I look and go, wow, how much better can I support my mind when I feel good because I've gotten away? It's like a win-win. When we know what we want, when we have a dream, Spirit will find a way to help us realize it. Like I said, it's in Spirit's time, not ours. Our part is to pay attention and act on the things that appear. For me, it's shifting my consciousness and noticing that my mom is safe and I'm not needed 24/7. And I think in our lives, when we have these dreams, we need to listen when people share their experiences. It may trigger new desires in us. It may be information we need for the desire we already have. Ask for help. Ask those who are already doing what you want or know about what you need. Ask them for hints and suggestions. We are not here to go it alone. We are here to be here for each other and express all that's possible. Even in our most mundane conversations, we can provide the spark that someone needs to expand their creativity and manifest their desires. Or someone could say something that just blows my mind, and I have the answer to bring about what I want. Spirit uses us to expand us for each other. And these opportunities for expansion and creating our dreams and desires, they'll arise when we're clear on what we want. Some of this sounds like external work to me, but it's really working with our inner world. We're shifting our inner world by releasing all those thoughts, beliefs, and stories that have held us back. And we're filling that space with possibility, setting our desires and focusing on the good we want in our life and in our experience. We're creating and shifting that inner knowing, our inner world. And again, in the Science Mind text, Ernest Holmes says, life is a mirror and will reflect back to the thinker what he thinks into it. So we want all our thoughts to support what we desire in life. We need that clarity of who we are and what we want. And we have to keep those joyful, positive thoughts so they can bring joyful, positive experiences. So this brings me to a piece of the puzzle that I think is really powerful because it's always in the present moment. You know, let's say we've cleared our negativity as much as we can at this point, because it's a process. Stuff comes up, you got to let it go. And we've got our desires. And now we have to keep our thoughts in alignment with our desires, how we want to experience life. And this means that we have to monitor and consciously choose our self-talk. What we say to ourselves and reaffirm is so important. I think each one of us can find at least one thing that we say to ourselves way too often that doesn't reflect the truth of who we are. One of mine is, I can't do that, or I don't know how to do that. So not true. It just comes as an automatic reflex to something new. It's not true. It's just my knee-jerk reaction to change. And that self-talk perpetuates my challenges with change. I have to constantly say, no, I don't know how to do it yet, but I can do it. It shifts the whole thing. It puts me in a place to be able to move forward. Saying I can't do that, or I don't know how to do that, kind of, I feel like there's breaks here. And I have to shift gears to move forward. So our self-talk should build us up, should fuel our confidence and support how we see ourselves, how we feel about ourselves. Because the better we feel about ourselves, the more life will reflect that good back to us. The brighter our inner light, the easier it is to see that light, that good in others. Because we're all mirrors for each other. And when we see the good in another, that good's in us. And we're reflecting that good back to them. It's like this reinforcement coming both ways. I like that I can be that mirror for someone else, reflecting that good back. And I have been on the receiving end of that, seeing my good reflected back to me from someone else. And it can shift everything. It can bolster our belief in who we are and the work that we've done to be the person that we want to be in life. We want to be the good guy mirrors, seeing the good in each person and seeing that reflected back. I'd like to close with these thoughts that I saw in our global theme today. Today, we remember who we are, the spiritual beings belonging to a vast, intelligent love. And we let that truth author our inner world. Desire is not a distraction. It's the divine nudge to blossom. Our mind is it's our outlet for creative intelligence. So the climate we cultivate within becomes the pattern our lives express. As we tend this sanctuary within, keeping it clear, kind, expectant, our choices, relationships, and communities shift. The world we inhabit begins to mirror the world we are consciously creating. The world we inhabit begins to mirror the world we are consciously creating. What we do for ourselves, the inner world we create, it does impact the world we live in. So I invite you to spend some time this week and throughout your life cleaning up and expanding your own inner world, your own inner knowing, creating that knowing of who you are, how you show up in life, and how you want the world to look. You will be better for it. You will feel that. And the world will be better for it. Thank you.